Just this week alone, the American media fell all over themselves to praise Hamas terrorists and defend MS-13 gangbangers, and they flat out lied in order to do it. And then they wonder why anybody would call them fake news. Well, this would be why. Hey guys, I'm Brittany Hughes, and welcome back to Reality Check on MRC-TV. So the liberal media started this week off with a bang, literally, when they defended Palestinian rioters backed by Hamas terrorists who were shot while trying to tear down an Israeli border fence, bombard it with Molotov cocktails, torch its fields, and threatening to blow up its buildings. Even Hamas admitted that 50 of the 62 people killed were part of its terror organization.
كان الجولة الأخيرة استشهد 62 شهيد. نعم. منهم 50 شهيد من حماس.
But apparently the idea that if you're a terrorist, you might catch one to the face if you invade a sovereign country with weapons and assault its people is a foreign concept to the folks over at the New York Times and the Washington Post. They billed the entire thing as a tragic assault on peaceful protesters who were just trying to make their voices heard. Yeah. Peaceful protesters throwing rocks and firebombs and burning tires. Okay. Then again, these are the same media snobs who think that letting undocumented gangbangers just take a happy stroll into Texas whenever they feel like it is a splendid idea. Who really cares if the law-abiding people in El Paso have to send their kids to school next to a crack den so long as you can accuse Trump of being a racist, right? So it's probably no surprise that they spent the latter half of the week defending MS-13 murderers and sex traffickers simply for the sake of disagreeing with Trump. The president compared violent criminal aliens to animals during a press conference on Wednesday, and rather than admitting that, vicious thugs who specialize in hacking people up with machetes probably shouldn't be very high on our refugee priority list, the media instead cherry-picked Trump's words out of context and falsely reported that he had called all immigrants animals, which simply was not true. Now, for the record, here's what MS-13 does. They're ranked by the FBI as one of the most violent gangs in America today, and they're spreading. They're in just about every major city from the East Coast to the West. They're infamous for beating their victims to death with baseball bats and dismembering them with machetes. 3 MS-13 members left 2 teenage girls dead in Long Island a couple of years ago. They left a 16-year-old boy hacked to pieces in a Texas park. They abducted and gang-raped a 14-year-old girl in Houston last year. They beat a 15-year-old sex trafficking victim nearly to death with a baseball bat in Maryland last August for not being a good enough forced prostitute. Want me to go on, Chuck Schumer? Their crimes routinely include murder, assault, rape, kidnapping, theft, sex trafficking, and drug running. And the only problem that I have with Donald Trump calling them animals is that it's a little insulting to the rodent community. They are the worst of the worst. But the media couldn't report that because it's more important to lie and smear Trump. And here's the craziest part. Even after hundreds of Twitter users had called out the media for their false reports, some journalists, such as CNBC's chief Washington correspondent John Harwood, for example, doubled down and defended MS-13. He said, quote, "However repugnant their actions, MS-13 gang members are human beings, in my humble opinion." Because for the media, it was much more important to lie to make Trump look like a racist than to tell the truth about these monsters who are in our country wreaking havoc and terror on our communities. So yeah, you vapid race-baiting reporters, when people accuse you of being fake news, this right here, this is exactly why. And that's your Reality Check America. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook and Twitter, and stay sane out there.